2 weeks ago when we did Sea Time Adventures, Dale Spangler from Fly Racing sent me a couple bits of new fly racing gear to try out. He had no expectations. He just wanted me to use them and to see how I liked them. And I wanted to pass along some of my thoughts to you guys about one of their new hydration packs because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, to give some precursor to this, for the past couple of years, I have been running the Usway stuff specifically. So the USWE, it's Swedish, for those of you who don't know. Amazing packs. They work phenomenally well. What is so great about them is, you know, the monkey off your back kind of a situation because of the strap setup that they have. I think that it works great. And I had even bought a new Useway pack because they came out with a larger capacity backpack, which was also a hydration bladder. And I was going to use that at Sea Time Adventures, but when Dale sent me the new XC100, I was like, this is a perfect time. I have no desire to talk bad about any product, but I need to make sure that I give this due diligence. So what I did is I ran it for 5 days while we were out there in Colorado at Sea Time Adventures and used it every day, figured out all the nooks, crannies, and good times with this bad boy, and I wanted to pass along a lot of those thoughts to you guys. When it comes down to it, I think one of the things that you're going to notice if you put this pack up against a Useway pack of the same caliber is price. So far, of the 5 days of extreme riding in Colorado, and by extreme riding I mean long days in the saddle. Obviously I'm not talking about extreme enduro, but it is Colorado, so it's tough when we're in elevation. So far, durability is awesome. I think that's one thing that people might question is, oh, why would this be $40, $50, $60 less than a Useway pack? Well, in this case, we did great. I mean, if you look at this guy, you can tell that this is through the wash too. Like, I've used it for 5 days and then washed it. The only real thing you can see is there's one stitch that's starting to kind of come out there. But the problem is I can't say that that's going to cause an issue or not. If I cut that right now, that could be the end of it. And honestly, I'm not going to. I'm going to let it keep going and see how it goes. After that, the way that this thing works is pretty straightforward, right? You've got your front pack, which what I like is they have these extremely accessible pockets. So this front pocket, if you want to go, there's vented, there's a little bit more secure, and then of course, which is great, a way to hook your keys. This is always good because there have been quite a few people that have just like thrown their keys in their bag and they might have bounced around, they might go for a tool and they'll fall out. This is a great way to make sure that when you get back to your truck from any kind of ride that your keys are actually still there at the end of it. But yeah, nothing too crazy here. I mean, just a pack, then just a pocket in the pack. And then of course, they've got a little bit of a padded, what they call a cell phone pouch, which makes sense. It's just big enough for that. I really just kept a couple bars in there, things that were super quick that I knew I'd want access to without having to dig around for anything. My cell phone was in my pocket of my Patrol XC pants because it has the cargo pants, which worked great with my LifeProof case. When you get into the bigger pocket is where you start to see a lot more usability. What I like here on this flap is you get another quick, easy vent pouch. You get another quick, easy vent pouch here. And then the deep pocket. Now this deep pocket is for the hydration bladder. If you were to want to use this as maybe as a small backpack and not have the hydration bladder in it, you could probably use this for more kinds of stuff. But at this point, it is for the hydration bladder, which always worked great. Had tons of crap shoved in this because when you do ride in Colorado and come on Sea Time Adventures, you want to be as prepared as possible. So we make sure that we carry all the tools, all the supplies and things that we're going to need to either tow people, fix flats, and all the, you know, quick steel, and we make sure that we can get back home is kind of what I'm saying. What I do like is I've noticed throughout the past couple of years is that companies that have had negative reviews of their hydration bladders, of the bladder that goes in their hydration packs, have started to say, you know what, we don't make good bladders. There are people out there that make better bladders. Let's just partner with them and use their bladders, which I've noticed that Useway and Fly Racing has done by going with Hydrapak. These guys make great antibacterial packs. The bite valve is awesome. You don't have to worry about any of that kind of crap. In this case, of course, it's the XC100, so we get 100 fluid ounces, or you could say 3 liters, however you want to look at it. For some people that are used to the camelback sort of ways, this kind of setup is a little bit different, but I think it's actually probably better, and there's less chance of cross-threading anything and then having to replace all this kinds of stuff. I think the Hydrapak bladders are awesome. I've been using them for the past couple of years in all the Useway stuff as well, and I'm glad that Fly Racing has made that partnership and has those in there. One of the things that I noticed that was neat too is that you're starting to see this more, is this little red tab. Why is that so important? This is for the hydration bladder. So when you get this guy full of water and you shove it in the hole and you get it all going, this little guy can then hang on that red strap. And so what happens is all the weight of the water in the bladder actually is much more distributed because it's not sitting at the very bottom of the pack, which happened for years. So that is a very smart thing to see, and I'm glad that that's been going that way. Now, some of the newer bladders, I'm sure these days, have that kind of stuff. I'm just really excited to see that in this Fly Racing bladder. Worked great in Colorado. Now, for those of you who are used to a lot of the Useway stuff, you see that they have 2 adjustment straps here, adjust in the center where it would buckle, and then you've got the ones on the sides. Well, in Fly Racing's, what they did is they took those top adjusters and they put them here in the back part. Now, some are gonna, I immediately was kind of like, well, that's kind of goofy because now it's going to be hard to get to adjust, and then I adjusted it once and never had to go back. So for those of you that are thinking that kind of stuff, mess with it. Put it on your bag, put all your crap in it, figure out how you want it to fit, adjust it once because that's all you're going to need to do, get it in the right spot, and bam, you never have to touch these again. And then what you do is you go to these guys here on the back, and these are your micro adjusters. These little Velcro straps, super easy to use, and so as micro adjusters, those are great. Now, because of the fact that I'm a little bit of a smaller dude, I wear large size shirts, I'm a 34 waist, I have to go to the second strap, but what this is for is in case you need a little bit of more area, if you will, in the stomach. And then, and so right now, I currently don't. After a couple more beers, I may be there with you guys, but hey, that's all right. So I was using it like this. I kind of had it set up, let's see, this one was pretty close to it, about a ½ an inch from the top, so we're just gonna set that back up. But what's great about this is I can go put this on and go, that's not right, quick strap, ready to go. I did have a couple issues with this buckle a couple times. Just coming undone, strangely enough, never while riding. It was one of those deals where I was kind of like messing with it and stuff, and I could kind of pull it off, but it never came off while riding. Super easy to adjust, ready to go. Now, the last thing that I wanted to point out to you guys is something that really caught me off guard and surprised the crap out of me. I was super excited to see it. In a lot of packs, I've seen a little zipper down here at the bottom, like you do on this pack. And I was like, oh, cool, it's got a little rain fly. Well, that's cute, you know. I was like, it says water resistant, but maybe, you know, with this, it's a little bit more waterproof. Well, I was completely wrong. It is not a rain fly. It is a carry-all kind of net thing. And at first, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to need this. I used it the entire trip. This little carry-all net was extremely useful. So what happens is, they've got these little elastic guys here on the end. You just say, okay, cool, I'm gonna need to put something in here, take it out, attach it to these guys, find that, of course you gotta find them first to make that happen, find where you need to attach it to, and go, boom. And now what I did is I kept my Fly Racing pack jack in here the entire time, so I didn't have to shove it in my bag every time. I just got everything I needed to go, put the rain fly down, put my pack jack in, brought it out, snapped it in, and then the whole time it was just that much easier to go, and I was blown away by how much I actually loved using this pack all week. I can't say, if you're in the market for a hydration bladder, go check this one out. Now the XC100 is 100 fluid ounces, so that may be too big for some of you guys. This was perfect. I only ran out of water once in Colorado. This is perfect for Seat Time Adventures 2.0, but if you need a little bit less, they do have the XC100, which I believe is $79.99. So, I mean, this is fly racing. Any local dealer that carries WPS, you should be able to purchase this. If they do not have it in stock, you will be able to order it. You want to go to your local dealer first. If you happen to be, maybe you have some fly racing bucks, or you've got a sponsorship from one of the online retailers. If you want to purchase there, do that as well. I just think it's a little bit better to go support your local dealer while you can locally where you're at. If it's a little bit more convenient to shop online, there's always that as well. I do believe you can purchase this on Fly Racing website if you wanted to check that out. But this thing worked great for us. We had a ton of fun riding in Colorado, and I honestly didn't really have any issues with this pack the entire time. As I mentioned, the only thing that kind of like I thought was going to give me weird woes was the buckle, but while riding I never had an issue with it, so I can't say that it did give me any kind of issues like that. And I noticed too that's got a little bit of reflective, so I'm sure that if you were wearing this up top, you would have a little bit of reflective capabilities. Would this be something that I would wear mountain biking? Absolutely. You can get it just as tight and just as efficient as you can with some of the U-Sway packs that I've been using, obviously, like I said, for the past couple of years. So go check out the XC70. Go check out the XC100 from Fly Racing with their new hydro packs. They've done a great job on them, and I'm looking forward to telling you guys about a lot of the other products I was using as well. Thanks. Remember, this is Seat Time. You can find us at seattime.co, obviously, is the website. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, it's seattime_co, on Instagram, it's @seattime, and we will be live next Tuesday night on YouTube. So please go check us out there as well and give us a little bit of a subscribe.